Hold on, I got all my other tools in my backpack.
So today you talk about fixed bike. This is Steven and I am Heidi, age, and we will talk about these things.
Now, when you say to yourself, I want to ride a bike, one of the first things that is always good to do is get yourself some gloves. Because one day, you're going to be riding, and you might get a flat tire. You're going to have to change the tire. Or change the tube, I mean. Well, that means you're going to need a patch kit. Little
Show
kit
me,
like this.
come. Show
And
me.
it has these. These are important. These help you take off the tire. And this is what your patch kit has. This is an adapter. This is a really cool tool for Presta bike tubes. Goes on there and it converts it to Schrader, which makes it easier to put air in sometimes. This is for scraping where the hole in your tube is, making it rough. So after you apply some glue, and then you blow on it a little bit to activate it, and then you peel one of these guys off and you put it on there. It's really simple. It's really easy. Just don't use too much glue, and you should be good. Well, what else do you have questions about, AG?
Yeah, so you can sit down a little bit.
You want me to sit down?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I prefer to stand, but let me tell you, one of my favorite tools is this. It's the Lazine bike pump. This thing pumps up your tire. It's very, very cool because it has two different settings. One for Presta and one for Schrader. They're both different, but they both screw in right here. Same spot. This one is for Schrader. We don't want that. We want for Presta. Screws right in. And then this screws right on your tire tube. The tube right here. There's a little spot. Screws on. Boop, boop, boop. Give it some air. That's
It's my favorite too.
What?
It's my favorite too.
Yeah, it's her favorite. And this is my bike toolkit. Basically, you want to have one of these to take off the tire. This is called a crescent wrench or an adjustable wrench. As you can see, it could be any size. And this is my triangle tool. I'm really not sure what it's called, but these are like sockets or ratchets or whatever. I think these are the sockets. Yeah, and it's got a 10 millimeter, 8 millimeter, and 9 millimeter. This is really good for the brakes. The most important thing is adjusting the brakes, adjusting a tire. So what do you got questions about, AG?
How many time you riding bikes?
I've been riding bikes ever since I was a young boy. So I started riding bikes. I think I got my first bike when I was about 4 years old. And I used to like to ghost ride it, where I would just kind of run and let it ride itself until it crashed itself. And I think it was funny, but my parents would say that's not funny because, we might have to buy a new bike or something and they'd get mad. But yeah, so I've been riding my bike, I'd like to say professionally now, for about 6 or 7 years.
Your parents like bike too?
Yeah, my dad rides a bike. My mom's rides a bike too sometimes. I think my sisters like riding bikes too. But I'm the big biker of the family. So with this bike, I put this whole bike together myself. And I've done this
Where?
in Portugal. And it started off with just this frame, just this piece. So everything on it is different. I call it Frankenstein because,
Oh yeah?
yeah,
This
it's
is new for
really
me.
different. And it's always good to clean up your bike because all this dirt and stuff gets in all the places where you don't want it.
I think the rice is done.
Yeah, the rice is done. And an old paintbrush too, if you could just find anything, because it's nice to get to all the places where it's kind of tough to use it and clean it up. And you can just kind of go like this and kind of clean it up really nice. Because your bike is your best friend. And if your bike's running good, you're gonna run good. Everything will be good for you too. So I like to clean it all up, you know.
You are beautiful.
Get all the areas where it's dirty, clean it up real good. But sometimes make sure these things are clean. You get some WD-40 or something like that. I prefer one that's good for the environment. They make these now. Actually, I have one right here. Well, I don't know where it is actually, but I think it's in the other room. Yeah. This is really cool too. It's a little survival gearbox. It's really small. And if you're traveling, this is what I traveled to the jungle with. This was all I had. Well, maybe some other tools too, but primarily just this. See, these are really really important, just in case. Sometimes the Presta tubes give you a problem, so having something to switch it to straighter is really nice. Same as me. I didn't meet, or just at the cooperatives.
Just tell me the people you think is important. You say about make things like you think is good for bicis, for environmental.
Okay, yeah, okay. So this is a pretty wide question. I'm gonna go with my most recent experience, which was in Portugal, in Lisbon. They have a cooperative called Cyclo-Oficina, and also Gaia, Cyclo dos Anjos, Cyclo-Oficina dos Anjos, Recicleta Gaia. That was a really great one too. So these are basically bicycle cooperatives. You can find them all over the world by searching for bicycle cooperatives online. And there's a big website. I can give the link of the website there. But basically, what it is a place that has all your tools and cool people like me who volunteer and help you fix your bike. So if you say, hey, I need to fix something on my bike and I don't know what I'm doing, you go to this place and they have all the tools for you to use. They have all the parts for you if you want more parts for your bike that you need to fix. They have everything. And the volunteers to help you and guide you in the right direction. Well, at these places, they also sell bicycles. Or, in my case, a bicycle frame. So I found this frame, which is a road bicycle frame. And it's a vintage one. It's very old. It's probably from the 60s or 70s or 80s. And so you find the frame, and then you have to put it all together. Usually they give you about a month to put it all together. So you keep coming, and you put everything together, and you learn as well. Well, at these kinds of places, they are really inspiring, because if you know how to fix your own bike, then you don't need a mechanic. All you need is to find parts for your bike and have the right tools, and then you can fix them. Well, that's really liberating, because then you're able to go anywhere in the world with your set of tools, and there's always bike shops everywhere. I traveled from California to Brazil on my bicycle, and I never even had a single blowout on my tires. So, and anytime I needed anything from a bike shop, there was always one nearby. That's a great thing about Central and South America, is so many people are avid cyclists, there's always a bike shop everywhere. So I just had this problem here. This is a small town, and because I put this bike together myself, I was fixing someone else's bike, and my bicycle fell over, and one of the spokes broke because of that. And a spoke is one of these. This is a spoke. It makes tension on the wheel. So without it, your wheel will wobble back and forth instead of just going straight. It'll kind of wobble and hit your brakes. Well, that's unsafe because then you won't be able to use your brakes, or you won't be able to ride your bike very well because it keeps hitting your brakes. Well, I found the spoke that I needed, and I was able to fix it myself because I have the right tools. Like this. This is for turning your spoke. Yeah, you just put this in there and turn, turn, turn. It's really great. And about the environment and people I've met, you know, I've met some really amazing people and gone to really amazing places in my journeys. Some memorable places are in Peru, in Chantachaca. There was a reforestation reserve called Chantachaca Ecologica Reserva, and there...
Reserva Ecológica Chantachaca?
Yes. And another place was in Posadas Misiones. I went to a reserve. I'm trying to think of what the name was. I think it was Concordia or somewhere. No, it was something like that. But it's near Posadas Misiones. We can put the link. And I went and talked to kids, and I gave a presentation about my travels and how when you use your heart and your mind, anything is possible, and to follow your dreams. And, you know, I met other...
Rice?
Rice? The rice is ready?
Yeah.
Okay, pause it. About all this. In Nicaragua, there was a hostel that was a permaculture hostel. So everything in it was permaculture. The toilets were permaculture. Everything they harvested, it was on an island called... Ometepe in Nicaragua, and it was called El Zipolite or El Zopilote, something like that. And it was amazing. They have pizza night. They have
pizza.
Yeah, and it's vegan pizza. Well, I don't know. I think they have some vegan pizzas, maybe, but it's really good pizza. And they also do tours of the permaculture farm and hostel, and there's activities that you can learn, like how to make a wallet out of a milk carton. You can put a link
right here.
What?
You can put the links right here.
A what?
The links for this place right here.
Yeah, we can put the links right there. Yeah. And let me take off my glove. And they did many different special things, and everything was permaculture there, and it was really special. And ever since there, I mean, I met some people from Peace Corps in Panama, and they were working on giving water to, I think, some of the indigenous tribes in Panama, and also to some of the poorer neighborhoods or areas. They were helping build things for water, clean water, which was really cool. I can't remember the whole project, but... and then I met some really ecological people while I was in the jungle. I met different shamans, and many different people, all like-minded. People would come to volunteer on the reserve that I worked on. So in this reforestation project, we would plant trees and maintain the reforestation lines. And it was a beautiful experience to live in the jungle, to learn about medicinal plants, to have workshops with shamans, to take medicinal plants like ayahuasca, San Pedro, Kambo, many different types of medicinal plants, and also eat different foods in the jungle, different plants that are food in the jungle, especially vegetables and fruits. It was an amazing experience. I also worked on farms in the jungle, and yeah, I mean, other than that, when I came here to Brazil, I immediately was introduced to MST, Raízes do Brasil, many different organizations that work ecological. I've met many different organizations that are NGOs and also environmental organizations or humanitarian organizations here in Brazil, and it's really been inspiring, and especially in Portugal. I used to teach English to a woman who worked with the youth and youth decision making, also youth learning, different types of learning, many different things like this, and everything for the youth, all these different youth programs, and it was really inspiring. So I hope to continue doing things like this and to bring them to places that don't have them, and especially help the youth, but the community as well, helping everyone, and being an advocate for absolutely medicinal plants, and bicycle riding, and living a more natural way of life, like the indigenous. Because if we live a much more closer life to nature, I think that we will be happier. The closer that we live, connected with the food we eat, the water we drink, you know, literally everything that has to do with nature, the happier we will be. And I truly believe this. And I'd like to say again, I believe that people should follow their hearts and follow their dreams, because when you use your heart, or your mind and your heart together, anything is possible.
Yeah?
Yeah, when you do everything you can.
You wanna say something more?
Go get a bike and start riding.
Yeah.
Or go on a walk, or go on a hike, or go get a skateboard, or anything that's not a car or a motorcycle.
Bye.
Or patins, or skates. Look at the skates.
Patins. Bye, baby.
I love everyone.
Isso é uma bunda gringa.